it's me, OGDuffy, and I am back with a CEX challenge. Oh yes, 3 simple rules, guys, and they are these. I will go in with a budget, my budget being £20. I must stay within budget, not go over. I can go under, of course. No sports titles unless it's a boxing game, and no games I already own. As you know, at the moment, I'm particularly focused on the PS3. There's some great games for that at bargain prices. So let's get amongst it. Let's go see what I can get in CEX for £20 or less and see if I can pass this challenge. Wish me luck, guys. Let's go. Heading to my local CEX, and as always, I start off looking in the window. Got a board game there. They're quite popular now. I'm seeing quite a few board games popping up in the CEXs. And there's that one there. £85 that was. But these caught my eye. These are 4K special editions. You've got Blade Runner and you've got obviously the Scarface one there. They're becoming quite a thing, aren't they? And of course a wig. Yes, CEX are selling a wig along with that Starfield and that special controller on the Xbox. £110 that. What's so special about that controller? Drop me in the comments, please. A handful there of Mega Drive games and a couple of SMS games. Loose carts. Now, don't really go in for loose carts unless it is an NES game. And this caught my eye here, okay? Yes, there it is, Goonies 2. Now, we all know Goonies, don't we? Oh, what's not to love? It was a great film, such a great feature film back in the day. But I've never played the Goonies game. Now, I'm going to be showing you a bit of footage here because I've looked it up prior to the video. So I'm assuming, rightly or wrongly, that that's going to be like a platform game on the NES. Am I right or am I wrong? You'll know because you'll see the video footage there of what I've added. But yeah, not a bad looking game there. And like I say, in terms of loose cartridges, the NES is probably one of the only systems I would collect loose carts for, because they look pretty cool stacked up, I think. Carrying on in the cabinet, and quite a few, as I said, loose carts there. But we go to the PS3 section. Of course we do. Now, anyone who watches the OGDuffy channel knows I go on and on and on about the PS3. The reasons being, it's such a cheap system to collect for, and there are some absolutely amazing games on this system that you can get the games for cheap as chips, really can. I mean, loads of AAA titles, everything on this, but not just that. Fire up a PS3 today, and do you know what? It still looks really good. And I know I keep saying it. You're probably getting bored of me hearing about it, but, you know, honestly, it's such a great system and so many great games to be had on there. Now, as always, as we're looking at these shelves, if there's any games you spot that are absolute quality, do shout them out in the comments. I love to hear what games you think I've overlooked or should have taken a closer look at. So please do give me the heads up, because you guys know your stuff. And while we're talking about commenting, you know I love to hear about your recent pickups and finds, especially from CEX, boot fairs, because hey, it's that season after all, and of course charity shops. What decent pickups and finds have you had of late? Do drop them in the comments. I love reading what you guys have been finding of late. But like I say, getting back to the PS3 here, plenty of Tomb Raider, load of Tom Clancy games there. And there's a few here that I looked at and I'm tempted by, but I've not gone in for, like that Unreal Tournament there. My belief is that's an online only shooting game, so I'm guessing that the servers are down and finished with that now. But coming up to the PSP section here now, I know a lot of you guys collect for the PSP, especially the films and stuff, so I took another look for you guys. V for Vendetta, what a movie that was. That was a DC comic book originally, you know. I'm sure you knew that anyway, but hey, a little bit of knowledge for you guys. But the PSP, there it is, and of course Blue Harvest there, the Family Guy extraction of the urine of Star Wars, but done very cleverly indeed. Then onto the Wii. Now I'm loving the Wii at the moment. I think the controller on the Wii system made it such a unique game. The Trauma games there, for example, I've got both of them. There are 2, I believe. There might be 3. I'm not sure. If you know, drop in the comments. But, I mean, what a unique game. You're operating on people using the Wii controller. Mate. Whoever, oh, you can just imagine it, can't you, in the boardroom in that games company. I've come up with this great idea. Oh yeah, what is it? You're a surgeon. You're going to use your Wii remote to cut people open and do operations. Try flogging that one. But obviously they did. It's there. But anyway, as I say, especially the railgun shooters with this system, they're really, really good because you don't need like a CRTV monitor TV. You can just do it straight off the bat using the controller. It so well designed. It just fits the light gun games perfectly. It really, really does. And next to the Wii section, we have the PS2. That game there caught my eye. £2.50. I'll be absolutely honest with you now. I've got a load of PS2 games, and since my my PS3 backward compatible one sort of died, I've not really played any. I mean, I've got PS2 consoles, but you know what? I just CBA. Can't even be bothered to sort it out and have another console set up and running. That's why I like that PS3 backwards compatible one so much. It was just so convenient. Now this caught my eye here. Look, Jackass the game. Now we all know Jackass the movie. Johnny Knoxville and the boys. I mean, them guys got some pranks and a half going on, didn't they? I mean, there was one typical one I saw. I remember, was it Preston, the big fella on there? They had him farting down a hose pipe and people had to wear a helmet and sniff it. Oh, it's just, the things they did was shocking, mate, to be absolutely honest. But in a strange way, I thoroughly enjoyed that TV show. But the game, never played it. I wouldn't imagine how that translates into a video game, but hey, it does. Anyway, you played it? Drop in the comments. Moving on from the uniqueness, which is Jackass, the video game. Oh, blimey. Anyway, yeah, and carrying on with the PS2 shelves here. Now, as I say, I've got quite a big PS2 game collection. I don't think I've got any real sort of major standout collectibles, but I'm in a bit of a quandary. I don't know whether to sell my PS2 and move on and just invest in other stuff. I really don't know. I'm going to have to think about that one. Anyway, what do you think? Is the PS2 still worth hanging on to, or do you think I should focus on other things? But anyway, the Xbox original, the OG Xbox, what a game system that was. Mike Tyson here, right? Heavyweight boxing. Come on in, who's going to win? Tyson, Jake Paul. Let me know in the comments. Obviously, I want Tyson to win. I just want to put an end to that man. Anyway, yeah. Jake Paul, I'm sorry, mate. But, hey, age and all that could be interesting. Anyway, PS1 games here. I loved the PS1. Such a great system back in the day. So I always have a good look at their games. And, of course, a pint to finish before we head back to OGDuffy Towers to see if I've passed this challenge. Welcome back to OGDuffy Towers. We have finished that CEX challenge there, and I've got a total of 8 games for my £20. But did I pass the test? Well, okay, here we go. Well, firstly, I stayed within budget. I spent £19, which meant I have a whole £1 left. I could have probably spent it on something like a copy of FIFA or something like that. But hey, I'm not going to buy any sports titles. Now, the other thing, the rules are, of course, no sports titles unless it's a boxing game. I might have struggled with that one. The first games I picked up were for the Nintendo Wii system. I've been revisiting the Wii just of late, and I have to say, it's very impressive. I think it's one of them systems that in sort of the community, retro game community, gets a bit overlooked these days. But the games for it are still really cheap. And I think that controller just made it a truly unique console in its own right. I mean, the railgun shooters I did recently, and there's loads more of them sort of games on there, and Wii Sports and all that. The controller just comes in its own, so it makes it a very good console indeed. So anyway, the first one I got was this. It is called Anubis 2. Anubis 2. That was £1.50, so obviously well within budget on that one. Long ago, an evil spirit known as Mum's Hotep plunged the land of Egypt into darkness. The gods are called, etc, etc, etc. The mighty... It looks like a 3D platformer. Yeah, anyway, complete as always. All of these games are complete. I'm not going to show you the manuals on all of them because I'm not going to waste my time. As you know, I only buy complete games and it's a Wii U title, of course. Talking of Wii U, I really must get back into the collecting of them, mustn't I? Anyway, that was £1.50. The next one here, probably to some of you guys, you'd say, oh, that looks awful, Rob, you know? But to be honest, I love and enjoy these sort of games thoroughly, and it is this, £2, and that's called Quiz Party. I love quiz games, things like, I'll be honest, nothing better than coming out in the games room on a Saturday night or whatever, or, you know, a few beers, put the telly on, and rather than watching all them Saturday night quiz shows on TV, come and doing one yourself. Especially if Mrs. OG's up for it, or little OG or whatever. We come out here, bit of quizzing. I mean, I'll be honest, I think Buzz is pucker. I think that's probably the best in terms of the quizzing front. But you know what? For £2, even if I play that for half hour or an hour, you can't complain at that price, can you? 2 notes. So happy days with that one. There's one more Wii title to go. And it was this. Okay, this sounds quite interesting. I don't know if I'll actually play it because I'll probably end up putting my Wii remote through the telly, knowing my luck. But it is Star Wars: The Clone Wars. But it is the Lightsaber Duels edition. So I'm guessing that you're going to be using the Wii remote as a lightsaber. I could be wrong. I could be right. But I think I'm probably correct here. So I figure that it will come into its own, really. I've really got to check my Wii games for doubles, but I'm 90% sure none of them are doubles. So anyway, next up, the PS3. I keep banging on and on and on about the PS3, how good it is, but I've added another 5 titles there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, another 5 titles, so I'm well happy with them. I'm loving the PS3. I can't get enough of it. So anyway, let's see what PS3 titles I've got. As you can see on the shelves here, the PS3 collection is coming along nicely. I think we're up to. It's quite easy for me to count, so don't panic. This ain't going to take that long. So that's 50, 100, 150, 200, 240, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 248 games in the PS3 collection, of which we're about to add another 5. Oh, yes, indeed. The first one. It's a AAA title from back in the day. I've never played this, right? And it was £1.50. And it is that. Watch Dogs. I remember this coming out at the time. Is this Ubisoft? Was it Ubisoft? Yeah, it's Ubisoft. And it's CCTV cameras, your hacking systems, all that sort of stuff. I think it got quite good reviews when it first came out. But like I say, it's one of them games that just passed me by. I just never played it. A bit like the Assassin's Creed games, really, I suppose. Yeah, I've got a few of them now. I should give them a play as well. But this, Watch Dogs, was it any good, guys? Have I missed the classic there? Should I give that a play sooner rather than later? Drop in the comments. Anyway, £1.50 that one. And the next PS3 title, it was £2 whole. Oh, yes. And I do not own this one. And again, it's one, it looks pretty good, to be honest. And it is that. Fracture. Okay. Like I say, £2, not played it. Reshape the battlefield, reshape the battle. The year 2161. Blimey. I don't even think I will be about then, you know. Anyway, to be honest, it looks like a sort of a shoot 'em up. It says it's got multiplayer, but of course, as with most of these older titles now, the multiplayers probably don't work because they've shut the servers and stuff down. But that was there, and I thought for £2, I don't own it. It's a LucasArts game, so hey, got a bit of a resemblance to Star Wars there with the LucasArts title. So, but is it any good? Again, as always, if you know, drop in the comments. Anyway, £2, Fracture. And now down to them last 3 PS3 pickups. 3 PS3 pickups. Little ring to that, innit? Anyway, cheers, guys. I reckon we might squeeze another beer in by the end of this video, you know. Because it'd be rude not to, but you already knew that, guys. Right. This is where things get a bit iffy. And I'm going to leave you to be the judges of it. So the next one. It's a Tony Hawk's game. Now, personally, it's Tony Hawk's Shred. Anyway, Tony Hawk's Shred. Tony Hawk's games, they're all pretty good fun, aren't they? This you don't need the board to play this, I hope anyway. I'd imagine you can play it without. For use with any Tony Hawk Activision board controller. So I don't know, can you not use a normal controller with that? Let me know in the comments. But the big debate is this. Is this a sports title? Personally, I see skateboarding more as a social sort of activity from back in the youth. Oh, mate. I'm trying to sell it. I don't know. Over to you. Have I failed? Is that a sports title? Yes or no? Tony Hawk Shred. And can I play that? Or do I need to have that board thing? And I don't have the board thing, mate. I don't. No, I don't. Now, this next one is a really dodgy one in relation to me getting the getting this through. Right. Remember the rule. No sports titles. Formula One race stars. I'm going to argue my case on this one, but I think I'm flogging a dead horse. But I'm going to try anyway, because it'll be rude not to, you know that. So, Formula One, of course, is a sport. It's motor racing. It's Formula One. You know, it's great, isn't it? You know, Lando Norris and Max Verstappen and all that going at it, week on week and what have you. But I'm arguing, very minor argument, but I'm arguing that this isn't a sports title because it looks quite cartoony in relation to, it looks quite similar to sort of Mario Kart style play. Race to victory on crazy Formula One circuits, features 4-player split screen, use amazing power-ups to speed past your rivals. So my argument is this, that's not a sports title because would you consider Mario Kart a sports title? Because I wouldn't. For me, it's like a fun racer, you know, and I would not consider. So for that argument alone, for the Mario Kart argument, I'm saying that this isn't a sports title. Or am I just really pushing my luck on that one? Oh, anyway, the final pickup. The final pickup, and it's another PS3 game, but it's one I'm particularly pleased with. I've got a version of this, but it's a completely different game, and I'll come to that shortly. I'll show you it. But it is that Game of Thrones. You win or you die. When this first released and dropped on, I think was it Sky Atlantic used to show this originally. I think it was on a Monday night. Me and little OG, we'd get round the telly, we'd watch. There was something on before that. The Roman slave thing. It was, yeah, that was good. Not Hercules, Spartacus. Was it Spartacus? Oh, I don't know. Something like that. And that was on. But then we'd have this, the latest episode of Game of Thrones. And we'd love it every single week. Such a great, great TV show. But I've never played the game. Is this any good? I mean, it describes itself, experiencing an amazing adventure in one of the most fascinating universes in medieval lifetime, blah, 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 Song of Ice and Fire. Play as two very different heroes as you venture in the heart of mythical locations from Westeros. It sounds good, it looks good, the graphics on the back look decent, but is it any good? So what's the other Game of Thrones game I've got? I can assure you it's not a double, because I have that version of Game of Thrones, which cost me £6. Now, this is one of the Telltale game series, so it's very different indeed. It's one of them where you choose your sort of route and your destiny as you go and all that sort of stuff. I have yet to play that. I have played the Telltale games before. I've done the Walking Dead one. And they're not bad games, actually. They're quite good fun. So that, I can assure you, the one I've picked up is not a double. Anyway, let's go and get my verdict, and over to you guys, really. That concludes the pickups from this CEX challenge. But the question is this, guys. Have I passed? Have I failed? I think I've played this one very close to the wind, and I'm fearing the worst, so to speak. But hey, it's only a bit of fun anyway, guys. But you already knew that. Anyway, onwards and upwards. So, rule number one, stay within budget. As you can see there, a total of £19. So, that's a pass. Rule number two, no doubles. I'm 90% sure I don't own any of them Wii games, and I know for sure I do not own any of the PS3 games. So let's assume there are no doubles. Whew. But now, this is where it gets iffy, guys, and this is where you become the judges. Oh yes, the judge and jury. You at home, viewing, and your comments will make the decision. Does that Tony Hawk's game count as a sports title? Personally, I'm going to say no. But reading the back, I don't know if I can play it with a normal controller or if I need one of them wobble boards, skateboards, in which case that'll probably never be played. And the F1 Superstars. Now, I'm arguing that's more Mario Kart than a sports simulation game. All right? So it lies on you. It's over to you, guys. Have I passed yay or nay? Let me know in the comments, as always. What I like about doing these CEX challenges, it goes to show that you don't have to have a fortune in your pocket. You don't have to spend a stupid amount of money on these games, and there are some classic, great titles to be had out there for silly money. I mean, I'll be honest, that Watch Dogs there, what was that, £1.50? Any good? I know back in the day it was a AAA title, so it was, you know, it was a decent game. That would have cost you, what, 40 quid when it got released back in the day. It's £1.50 now. I mean, even if I put that on and say I'll get 3-4 hours gameplay out of it, it's still a bargain. It really is a bargain. I think out of all of them, though, the one I'm probably looking forward to play most is probably that Game of Thrones. Either that or I'm in for a big disappointment. I love Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, anything like that, you know, your old fantasy stuff and all that. So I'm quite looking forward to giving that a little play. But anyway, guys, have I passed or have I failed? Over to you. I've been OGDuffy, as you probably already know, and I, guys, will see you all on the next one. And as always, this beer is for you. Sorry it's only a Stella this week, but do you know what? Love it or hate it, it's cold, it's wet, and it's the spot. See you on the next one, guys.